It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's your feel-good breakfast show indeed. Welcome to it. Expresso right here on S3. Wonderful to be hanging out with you. And mense, dit is koud. Die winter is here, and as the cold weather sets in, so does the season for sniffles. Yes, coughs, colds and flu. And here to help us navigate the best ways to keep our families healthy this winter is pharmacist Radar Kader. How's it, Radar? Nice to see you, my friend.
Hi, Ewan. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, dude. Here we
good
go. Here we go. And I think, you know, we can talk about this every year. Every year like clockwork, because I mean it's reoccurring, all right? But I think we need to understand the key differences between colds, a cough and flu, right? And I think that's where people kind of tend to, it's always shaky water there.
I think this time of the year, it's such a common occurrence, and it is good to understand the differences. So coughs, colds, flus, you know, it's such common words that we talk about in winter.
Because it always feels like when you talk about it, it puts it under the same umbrella. Cough, colds and flu.
It does.
Yes, but it's not really.
It's not really. They're similar, and they can present with similar symptoms. It's called a common cold, and it's called common because it's exactly that. Yeah. And those would present with sort of slightly less severe symptoms of a runny nose. You'd have a sore throat, a bit of a cough. And then persistent coughs needs to be looked at. Those can be set off by allergies and also the common cold. And then the ones to really look out for are flu symptoms. These can make you really, really sick. For flu symptoms, you'd get sudden chills, body aches, pains, and you'll actually feel really, really sick. So that's the one you want to try and avoid, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to be able to distinguish between them so you can take the right course of action. But first and foremost, when a member of the family, maybe yourself, starts showing some symptoms for the first time, what's the first step that you need to take?
I think it's important to understand that you're not well. So you need to keep hydrated. That's the most important thing. Just with sort of clean water, maybe clear broths, electrolyte-rich fluids. You'd also want to sort of not overexert yourself. Try and get rest and boost your immune system. Yeah. Get some vitamin C's. There's so many immune boosting supplements on the market at the moment, and then reach out for those over-the-counter medicines just to see you through that difficult time.
I want to talk about the over-the-counter meds in just a minute, but I mean, we also know that, you know, young children and the elderly are a bit more vulnerable, especially when it comes to the fluctuations in terms of, you know, the temperatures and the viruses going around. So is there anything, because prevention is better than cure?
Absolutely.
At the end of the day. How do we go about protecting, especially, I think, children?
I like that you mentioned elderly and young children. The World Health Organization actually recommends that we vaccinate, and the flu vaccination's available at the moment. It was out of stock, but it's back in stock, and we definitely recommend this for anybody who's high risk. And then that includes children, pregnant women, and then also the elderly. And then obviously keep them away from crowded areas. You don't want them to be in public spaces. If somebody's sick, wear a mask. I
wanted to ask you about the mask wearing. I mean, I know that it's a bit of a sensitive topic, especially as South Africans not being used to wearing masks, but we've been through this whole wave of having to wear masks.
We have, and we learned. We've learned that, you know, I think when we went through that pandemic, everybody needed to wear masks. We've changed the shift a little bit and saying, if you're feeling sick, wear a mask.
Yeah.
Don't go out into public spaces. And if you have to, wear a mask. So at least you're protecting the next person from getting sick. Yeah,
absolutely. Look, I'm a big advocate for letting your immune system fight any virus that's in your body. But at some point, you will need to reach out for a little bit of extra help. And you mentioned over-the-counter meds. What would you say? I mean, how do we choose the right one? What do we normally go for when we go for our over-the-counter kind of meds?
So first you'd speak to your pharmacist, right?
Yeah.
And possibly give you the best advice.
My friend.
So when somebody comes into the pharmacy, our thought process is when we're prescribing or recommending an over-the-counter would be to look at the symptoms, ask about the symptoms, and then treat the symptoms accordingly. As we spoke about the cold and flus, they come with an array of symptoms. So it's easy nowadays where we have multi-ingredient formulas that will actually help with most of the symptoms that people get from cold and flus in one sort of preparation, and mix that up with some immune boosting vitamin C's, echinacea, olive leaf, and and you're good to go. So I say multi-preparation formulas are good.
Yeah, you see, but that's why we call you guys the superheroes out there, because you know exactly. We can come in and say, listen, this is my problem. I have a runny nose or I have a bit of a cough or so, and you could recommend that over-the-counter meds, which is important.
Magic.
Really do appreciate that, Radar. Lucky to see you again, and all the best. I know that's probably busy season for you now.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's the season, but winter's here. Keep warm and protect yourselves with the flu vaccine.
I like it when you say boost the immune system.
That's
Prevention is better than cure. But hey, at some point we are going to need your help. So thank you very much. And of course, for you at home, talking about the sniffles and the seasons, here's a bit of a good news, a bit of a silver lining, if you will. You stand the chance to win 4,000 Rand in cash with Corenza Para C this week. And all you need to do is simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso social media pages and tell us about the time when cold and flu's symptoms, those symptoms really stopped you from achieving your absolute best, because we know they do. Hulle kom net en dit stop jou in jou spore. So don't forget also to include that hashtag #AdcocOTC winter. The competition closes Monday the 10th of June, and T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.